it is time for part 2 of our August page from Tiny Year by Agotapop, the Colouring Heaven magazine edition. Now, I didn't say in the first video, but this August page plus other August pictures, these ones included, are available both in this book, which you can get as a Amazon download. You may still be able to get it in some shops, not in the UK, I shouldn't think, but in other shops. But also you can get these as a download from Agata's Etsy store. I'll put the link is in the description. But let's get on with some fruit. This one here, I'm procrastinating because I can't remember what I said that was. Did I think it was an orange? But I don't really associate oranges with ice cream. So I'm a bit confused with that one. It does look so much like an orange. I'm just looking at all the other fruits that I can see on the page. We've got blueberries, kiwi. We've got a sort of citrus slice. We've got strawberries. I can see a pineapple, currants, bananas. Cherries. I'm just going to colour it as an orange. Why not? Let's just get some orange in the picture. Okay. This is number 42. And that's where I'm starting. I'm actually just going to do an orange layer all over to start with. Now what I'm going to do with the fruit is I'm going to attempt, I say attempt because I know what I'm like, to do all the fruits of one particular type. So I'm do this orange now, and I'm going to hunt out any other oranges and do those, and then we'll move on to a different fruit. Okay, now I said attempt because I'm not always very observant, so sometimes I think I've done all the oranges, let's say, and then I'm off doing something else and I suddenly spot one that I've missed. So we'll see how I get on. It'll be an interesting exercise in my observation power. Oh, I've just had lunch. I'm feeling way too full. We're sort of running out of bread, so I thought I'll have a few noodles, and I had these, I could do it a bit darker, but I quite like it, that colour. I'm just going to put a bit more at the bottom. What I meant by darker is I could have got a darker shade of orange, but I quite like this one. I didn't know how many there would be really, and so I put too many on to cook. Yeah, because we're running out of bread, so I thought I'd have noodles instead, and I've got these black rice noodles, which my son thought looked vile. They did look a bit like black worms when they were in the bowl, to be honest. I had to not think about that when I was eating them. Right, there's the other orange. I don't think there's another one. I'm going to have a quick ponder around through. Looky. No, I think that's it. So we're sort of methodically going to work through. So I'm going to sort of look along here and find my next fruit, which is the cherries, and there's a watermelon too. So we're going to do the cherries next. Now cherries are tricky with Ergosoft, as I always consider that they should be sort of purpley like a morello cherry, but I'm going to do them in the 29, that's dark isn't it, which is red. Okay, and the cherries are going to be the one that I'm most likely to miss some because they are all over the place. But anyway, let's get going. So I like to do them a little bit darker at the bottom. Gosh, this really is quite red, isn't it? There's not much pink in it, but okay. And then lighter as we go. I think it's because when we get cherries from our farmer's market, which they have got them there at the moment, but I haven't bought any yet, they're always those sort of dark, deep purpley sort of coloured ones. So I sort of think the cherries are that colour, but of course they come in you can get them in yellow, and sort of yellow with a bit of red on. My father-in-law's cherry tree has those colours. Got a fantastic picture of my boys under his tree, all covered in cherry juice, where they were just picking. His tree is so tall you can't pick the cherries off, you have to wait for them to fall, and he was helping them find the nice ones that had fallen on the floor. and it was scoffing them. I had a dirty, sticky cherry face. That's a great photo though. Just enjoying being a child and having fun. Okay, I'm going to go over it a little more. I'm just not quite happy with the finish. But as I said yesterday, I do find the Staedtler pencils do really nicely on this paper. We've got a pair of cherries here. So these are a lot smaller. These are baby cherries, because they're small. I think with this page, these pages, you have to sort of take each little piece as its own. So these cherries are teeny, but in relation to the size of the ice cream, they're actually quite big. Whereas this here, is this a cherry? I think it might be a plum. It's got a different leaf to the leaves drawn on the cherry. So I'm not going to colour that one as a cherry. But we're going to have a look. We've got a whole bucket here. Now, are these cherries or are they apples? What do you reckon? I reckon they're cherries, because of this sort of stem with the little knobbly bit at the top. I'm just making sure I haven't missed any as I've come down. I probably have, as I said before, but yeah, hopefully not. So let's just start colouring. I do love colouring fruit and veg. I don't know why. It just makes sense really, because it's not like, you know, I like colouring flowers too. Flowers and fruit. It's what I like in my shower gel, flowers and fruit. Maybe, no, I don't think that's related. No. Anyway. Yeah, my head is full of organising things. Got to organise some stuff for things that are going on. And I can't do anything yet. So my mind's like, I need to write a list. Because my mind's like, I want to do this and I want to do this. But I can't start that yet. There's no point in doing that. I can't, you know. I need to write a list. I have had a message saying my husband's meds are in at the chemist. But he's got some left. So I'm not going to worry about doing that today. One less job. I mean, I should go out for a walk, I suppose, but it's supposed to rain. Not that that should be an excuse by any means, but I just decided that I was going to try and catch up with some jobs today and not go out, so we'll see. I've got to go out tomorrow, so I can do it when I'm out tomorrow. It's quite a small barrel. Or are they giant cherries? What do you reckon? I'm saying small barrel. There we go. So I haven't done anything too much, too complicated, too many little details. It's possible that I might decide to come back and do a little bit more later, but I think I've got all the cherries. Right, back to our fruit bowl. Okay, we've got this sort of plum. I'm sure it's a plum. I'm going to do it in purpley plum. I'm going to use the 6. Might be a bit too much, so I'm not going to use it too hard. Yeah, it's not quite the right colour, is it? So I'm going to put a bit of pink on top. There we go. Just a tad of 61, which is sort of more of a purpley pink. There we go, 61. The sorts of plums I'm thinking of, are they called Victoria? They're really quite dark, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get that with this mix of colour. I don't really want to put any black on, so put a bit of that on. And then I'm going to go back to the 6 and put put another layer on. Apparently it's alive and it wants to jump out of my hand. Ah well. There we go. I'm quite happy with that. I think you can see what it's supposed to be. I can anyway. Now we have currants. We can do them as red currants or black currants or blueberries. I think if we do these as red, because we've got blue, it's a bit different, isn't it? Now, I always feel that red currants are slightly orangey red. So I'm going to use this number 2. If it comes out a bit too orange, I can always put a little bit of red on it. Just sharpening it. Red currants are all so pretty. It's a bit pale really, but they are so sour. My aunt used to grow red currants and black currants. She used to make black currant jelly and red currant jelly, and it was delicious. Isn't it odd that we called it jelly when we don't say jelly in this country, we say jam? It was jam. But I used to call it jelly. I think the reason was, I'm just trying to think, that it was sieved, so that, because the seeds, hard seeds in these, so it was sieved, so it was set like a jelly / jello, which you say in America. So it was set hard and it had no body to it, whereas number 1, whereas like in a strawberry jam, for example, you would always, this bit's brown, isn't it? You would always expect to have lumps of strawberry in, like whole strawberries or half strawberries in the jam. They always come to the top of the jar. And one of my sons really dislikes them and the other one likes them. So if they've got a leaf, if they sorry, did I scare you? A leaf. Sorry. There's a leaf there. Look, someone didn't colour it in. Who's that? Right, leaves 5, isn't it? 5. I've got to remember what I did. Yeah, so they get the strawberry and one of them always eats the strawberry and the other one doesn't want to. Then they start a new jam. They go, I don't want the top, we have the top. You know, it's quite funny, really. That's my boys. Now, I think I used a 50, didn't I? Now this, I think it's a giant blueberry. Oh, I haven't finished the banana. Need to do the brown bit of the banana. Sorry, I'm getting all distracted. This is how I colour when I'm not on video. 77, round and round, up and down, this and that. You know. No, chainsaw. There's a tree down along the canal. It's probably dealing with that, I'm assuming. Now, blueberry. I'm going to use... What's that? You see there's a little bit here. Maybe that's another blueberry. So this is 33. I'm going to use this firstly for the blueberry and just put a layer over like that, because they aren't really blue, are they? But I think if we do a base of blue like that, and then get the the number 6, put a bit on top. Yeah. I always wonder why they're called blueberries. They really aren't very blue, are they? Let's put a bit of dark bit there. There we go. Right, there are some more of these. Where did I spot them? There's some right at the bottom. I think that's the only one. Here, look. Here, 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 here. I think those might be the only ones. I'm just going to observe again. Give you a minute to catch up then if I went a bit fast. Yeah, I think that is it. So back to the 33, and just a light layer over each one. Yeah, we've got kiwi on this one. There's quite a lot of wafer on this page too, which isn't surprising considering it's ice cream. I was a little unsure what colour to do it. I'm sure I can come up with some ideas. Right, blueberries. Number 6. So I'm going all over them first, and then I'm going to make them look. So I want the bottom of this one to be a little bit darker, like that, and a bit in the middle, like that. And then this one, where it overlaps, it be darker, and the base there. Similar here, just the bottom a bit darker, and here. Oh, don't forget to fill in that bit and that bit, because it's sort of dipped in that bit. Okay, now where are we going fruit wise? I'm just having, oh, we've got a strawberry, which I'm very likely to forget. See here, it seems to have its bottom dipped in something. I'm going to say it must be chocolate, because what else would it be? I'm going to grab the 23 to do our strawberry. Oh, we haven't done the watermelon at the top, have we? I was just thinking this is a good watermelon colour. We'll go and do that. 2. This is a little bit pink for strawberry, really. So I'm going to go over it, as you may have guessed. Just put that aside and keep it for when I do the watermelon. But this is 29. This one's quite dark, so I'm not going to press too hard on my initial layer. I just want it to look a little bit more red. Okay, a car alarm. Second time today, third one in 2 days. It's getting a bit silly around here for alarms. There we go. Now, should we go straight up to the watermelon? I think that makes sense. Or else I'm going to forget. Here we go. So I am just going to use this 23 to do the fleshy bit. I'm not pressing mega hard, partly because I don't want the colour to be too saturated, because then I think it will be a bit too intense. But also I need to draw on those seeds and I want them to be black. So I need to not have too much burnished colour down, or else I won't be able to get that black to show up. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'll grab my black, number 9. I think. I'll check in a minute. Yes, I know some of the colours off by heart. Number 9. Should do by now, after all these years. I've used Ergos for, over 10 years. So just draw on the seeds. If you have found you've pressed a little bit too hard and your black isn't showing up and you've got it really sharp, use a pen. You can use a black pen. Now I like to have a bit of fun with the outside of the watermelon and do it stripy. So, number 52 first, and I'm going to do a little bit here and then like that. It doesn't have to be even, because it wouldn't be. In fact, it's going to look weird if you make it too even. So trying to break that up a bit so it doesn't look even. There we go. And then I'm going to use the number 56. Got that one wrong, didn't I? And fill that in a slightly different colour. It looks a bit too stripy now. Oh well. Never mind it. There he is, watermelon. Okay. Now where are we going? We have some more fruit down here at the bottom. We have, in here we have a piece of pineapple there. I'm thinking quite a dark yellow, so this is the 11. No, that's too orange. I'm not using that. I'm actually going to go for, whoops, yeah, I'm going to use the banana colour, the 1. It's quite bright, isn't it? But I think that looks better than what I was going to pick. Now I quite like this to look a bit like lemonade, but maybe we need to stick to doing the fruit. So if this is a lemon, I would carry on with my thing and then just put a bit of lighter colour there. Quite straightforward. Now we've got what looks like the middle of a strawberry. Now I think I'm going to use this colour. This is the 29. Now this is quite a dark colour, but I'm going to use it lightly. Now the very centre of the strawberry is white, that sort of oval shape, so don't colour that bit, just colour the bit around the outside. Yep, okay, pineapple. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is simplify it somewhat. I'm going to use number 16 first and colour all over it. Don't colour too hard. I'm going to layer over this like that. Then we're going to add some green. Yeah, this green will probably work. 57. And we'll put the green here and sharpen it. To the bottom of these little shapes. My foot is still cold. Why is only one foot cold? I'm gonna wiggle my toes, warm it up a bit. It's quite funny. I don't want to be cold. I mean, I like being cold, don't get me wrong, but next week it's going to get silly hot again and I need to not be used to being cold. This is 76, and what I'm going to do with this one is just go around the main part of the pineapple, missing out those sort of shaped bits. So we've got a slightly darker base colour, but I'm not pressing very hard at all, just a little bit to lay over the top. There we go. So that's all I'm doing with that one. And now we have a kiwi fruit. Here, look. Now I'm going to keep this in my hand, this 76, do the skin. I'm going to pretend it's got skin on. There we go. That bit's white, so this bit it needs to be, I reckon this sort of colour, 76, 56. Why do I keep saying 76? Madness, I'm just going mad. Nah, she's been mad for a long time, as my children will remind me on numerous occasions. Right, but I also say the same to them. It's reciprocal. Okay, I think I've done all the fruit, so I'm going to move on to the wafer. So I've picked up my number 16. Okay, and we're going to look through. We could start here in this corner, seeing as we're here. We've got this door, so I'm going to go over the whole door with the 16 to start with, just a lightish layer. And then you can see the pattern. I'm going to go into the divots where the wafer has these little indentations. Hopefully by colouring in them it'll look a little bit more like it's those bits are sunk in. I think that works. She's so surprised. And then there's this one, which is the same, except it's a slice of pizza really. And these are the cheese, tomato, mushrooms, peppers. That's what I put on a pizza. No, I don't put cheese on, actually. Wafers, let's carry on. You've got a big one over here. See this? I'm going to do the same thing. Avoiding the windows. No, what would I put on a pizza? I would do a wholemeal base. I'm thinking I'll do that too. Spread with a tomato puree, I think. Sprinkle on some mixed herbs. Then add slices of peppers, mushrooms, some sweet corn, peppers, mushrooms, sweet corn. What else have I put on it? That'll probably do. And then top it with some tin chickpeas. Yeah, I know. And then cook it in the oven till they brown. And I would cook the vegetables first, so they have to cook. And my base would be probably a wholemeal wrap. So it's all very easy. So you can see, if you're watching, not off, and you haven't scooted off to make a pizza, that I'm doing the same technique as I did with the other cone. Yes, my mum made pizza for her lunch yesterday. It was her wedding anniversary. My dad, how many years? 59, I think. I know, 59. My dad's 81. My mum's going to be... No, my dad's 80. My mum's 79. So anyway... And anyway, so yes, they went out for lunch and to an Italian place, and she had a pizza, and she said it was absolutely huge. When it came out, she went, oh! And the waitress went, "Don't worry, you can take what's left home." She said, "Okay," which she did. So now we've got some more slightly. These are all look a little bit different to each other. Now, I didn't know whether this one was inside a sort of paper holder. Sometimes they do that, don't they, with the really posh ones. So I wondered if that was what's going on with that one. This is one like we've done before. It's called waffle cones, we call them. I don't know if that's what everyone calls them. And sometimes they have chocolate inside. But they're much nicer. They're made with egg, apparently. Not suitable for vegans, so my sister tells me. So she can't eat them. Not that either of us particularly like ice cream. But her kids do, though. But the regular cones, these ones, those are suitable. But they're just like a bit of dried up old communion wafer. I've never had a communion wafer. I remember when I was at Brownies they did it, but I didn't know what to do, so I didn't do it. They told us that we didn't have to, and I didn't do it because I didn't know what to do. Never done it. You've got a cone up here on this book. Can you see? I didn't even know they did communion in the Methodist church until that day. I think that is all the wafers. Okay, so where are we going to go now? How much time have we used up? I'm wondering whether to do, let me look, how much ice cream have we got? We could do ice cream. We haven't got masses. Okay, let's start the top. Let's work through. Then no, not our ice cream isn't all going to be the same colour. It could be, but when we've got that big one, which has got 5 different ones on it, I think that'll be too much. So no. So this little bit here, I'm doing in number 10. And what I think I'm going to do is do all my vanilla ice cream now. So this is quite a vibrant lemony yellow, but if you use it really gently, you can get a little bit of a vanilla ice cream look from it. Yeah. Now this to me looks like cream, not ice cream, and I'm going to do this one in this colour too. However, I'm going to leave that one. Yeah, it definitely sounds like someone's cutting up a tree. The one that went down by the canal was just a really thin willow, whereas the one that went down in the street, now here, this looks to me like it's rippled. So I'm going to use this yellow to do this top bit and this end piece. And I'm going to miss one out and do this. I'm hoping you can work out what I'm doing. And that one. And then those ripples were doing a different colour, like they're sort of sauce or something. And this one we've got a stripy look as well. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a bit here, 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 and here. Now on our book, we've got 2 scoops. I'm going to make the top scoop vanilla. Then coming down here, we've got 4. I think we could probably think of 4 different flavours, but I think as this one's on its own, that's the one I think should be vanilla. Okay. And actually it says vanilla on our machine. So now I'm wondering whether they should they all be vanilla? No, because the machine is going to here. This is the vanilla one here. So this is our sort of giant ice cream house. And we'll make this one the vanilla. That's how we'll do it. Also, do you see that? They're going to make that bit vanilla. I don't know why. Now on the bottom row, we have this and this. I think I'm going to do this partly in vanilla, like that, and then that bit, oh, but that bit goes up there, and that bit, yeah, and then maybe leave that stripe and make this one so it looks like it's a sort of stripy ice cream. You sometimes get 2 in 1. I don't know if you've seen that, but I have. We have a sort of, like when you ice a cake and you get different colours. Right, that's my vanilla done. We're going to do some strawberry or raspberry or cherry. 20. We're going to do some pink. So lightly again, because ice cream isn't particularly dark in colour usually. It's usually quite pale, pastel-y colours. So I'm just trying to press as gently as I can. Like that. This one I'm going to leave, it's not going to be pink. We're going to come up here to our row of 4 and choose a pink one. I'm going to do this one. With the love heart, I think it's nice to do it pink. Now what you can do is where it's overlapping, you can put some shadow on to make it look a bit more 3D. The problem with that is you have to press down a bit harder on your pencil, and then you end up getting a colour that's darker than you want. So that's why I'm not doing it. I don't want a darker colour. So I'm just going to leave it. Now I do have a, in one of Helen Ellison's books, she has a tutorial for ice cream, and it tells you how to put in all the little dips and things and highlights and low lights and shadows so that you can get a real textured look to your ice cream. Is phenomenal, but we're not doing that today. We're just going to keep it really straightforward and just colour it in. There we go. Now up here, these two are both rippled. I'm going to do this one in pink and the other one I'm not. I might do chocolate, I think, because it's got this stick in. Can you see? Yeah, looks like a chocolate stick, but I am going to make in here, make this all pink. And it looks a bit like it could be stripy if you wanted to go that way. Now we have our ice cream on our book there. I'm going to leave that one. But up here, I'm wondering whether to do, I think I'm going to do a pink layer here. Like that. Okay, now we're going to go for a different shade of pink. Well, they're going to use this one, which is the 61. And I'm going to start with using it on here. It does look more like a cupcake, but you know. And then this one I'm going to do chocolate, but we've got layers under here. And I'm thinking I'm going to do this layer in this colour. I don't know why it's got circles. So if it's sponge, not sure. But anyway, that's how I'm going to do that one. Then we've got our little row of 4. I'm going to do this one in this colour. Got 2 pink ones at either end, but it's okay. They look different enough. Oh, it takes a bit of concentration getting around those little dots. And then we have our house. Now I've got a pink one here. I'm going to have to be next to one, I think, down the bottom here. This looks like it could be mint choc chip. I'm wondering whether it's just chocolate chip, not mint choc chip. I don't really have a minty green. I'm thinking it could end up looking very odd. So yeah, I think I won't do it green. I'm looking at this one at the bottom here. I'm thinking I'm going to do that in this colour as well, because I was thinking about doing it brown and then I thought it might look a bit yucky. So I decided that a pink colour would look a little bit nicer. I don't know why I'm pressing a bit hard on this one. I shouldn't be, but I am. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to bring us back to here next and get some chocolate ice cream going. Now, I like using the 77, but again, you need to be gentle. What I'm going to do is just go over it all really lightly. I've just found another heart. Like this, all of it, including those bits, to look like the ice cream. I'm only going over the bits because it's easier and will look neater than trying to colour around them. And they're going to be this colour. They're just going to be coloured darker. We'll see in a minute. I'm just going to burnish them more so they look like chocolate. There we go. Tempted to do these dots as chocolate too, but I don't think I will. I am going to do this one as chocolate though over here. And I think that's probably a chocolate stick. There we go, and we need a bit of chocolate up here on this one in the sauce now, because this is chocolate sauce. It's going to be darker compared to if it was chocolate ice cream. Well, I don't know, perhaps it should have been a raspberry ripple, but anyway, it's chocolate sauce now. And I'm also going to make this a sauce like that. I'm going to make this very bottom layer here a layer of chocolate ice cream. There we go, and then we've got this one at the top which has got layers as well. I'm going to put in a chocolate layer here. There we go. Right, my next ice cream colour is going to be this sort of reddish colour. It's 25. I'm going to put it on this layer so you can see it. It's a bit more like a strawberry colour. And for our final layer there, I'm just going to do that now. I'm going to use our yellow, our number 10, to put a bit of vanilla in the bottom. Like that. And then we are also going to finish this sort of sundae with a back to 25 in here. And, oh, I need that. Then back to 10 for the bottom-ish for there. And I'm just going to fill in that layer with a 61, I think. A little bit harder, a sort of sauce. There we go. Now we are moving back up to our ice cream house here. And this very top one here is going to be in this 25. It looks quite like the strawberry, but that doesn't matter. The strawberry will eventually have a bit of chocolate on it. I know I finished off a few of them, but I'm not going to do that with this one because there's a lot of little itty bitty details on here. You know, like the windows and the chocolate sticks and the dots and the door and everything else. I am just looking to see what other ice creams I have to do. I can see which one I have left. This one on the book. There we go. Now while I think of it, I'm going to do this heart in number 20, like all the other hearts. There we go. Dog. Oh, dog getting quite excited. Oh, I'm crying. Oh, I don't like it when they cry. Right. I think I'm going to leave that now for today. There's a lot still to do, so it's not like I could rush through and finish it today. I have got a few ideas, bits and pieces. Some of it I've got no clue what I want to do yet, but we'll see what happens there. Like the lettering, I've got no idea about. I've got an inkling of an idea, but I don't know if it's going to work. Don't know what to do for that. Or the bottles, doors, no idea. But we'll see what happens. I think I know what to do with the windows, but yeah. Scratching my head a bit, having to think, but we'll get there. But that is us done for today. So there's a lot of details. It'll take a little bit longer. Maybe one video, maybe a bit more. I don't know. we'll see. But thank you for watching today. Hope that you enjoy the rest of your day and happy colouring.